Welcome back, everyone. You just finished listening to Young Culture's latest release called This Is Heaven. I'm now joined by the band on the phone, so how about you guys introduce yourselves and give us a brief history of the project for people who may not know you.
Hey, what's up? This is Gabe and Alex from Young Culture. What's going on, guys? Thank you for listening to the EP. I hope you liked it. I think it's sick. What are we talking? Brief history? Brief history, yeah. So pretty much, me and Gabe started this project like our senior year of high school, and we've known each other since like we were like 11 years old, and we decided to finally do it like a project the right way. So we did that, and then we met, our other members, and that's kind of just how it came together. And now we're here. We're in Toronto today, and we're recording our first full-length record.
Signed to Equal Vision Records as well.
Yeah, that was exciting. That was like a big dream come true kind of thing, where it all kind of fell together in a really, really awesome way, and everything was that was just really awesome. And Equal Vision has been great to us ever since. Yeah, and they're really excited about the songs that we're writing now for this new album, and very excited for the future. Yeah, that was great.
All right, so let's start off. You guys are based out of Albany, New York. So what's the local scene like up there?
It's a pretty relatively small scene. Yeah, I think at one point there was like a lot of bands, but growing up for us, like we just saw it like kind of like dwindle away more and more. But like we just know that when we play shows there and stuff, it's so much fun, and people seem to love it. Like we have a great time there. We'll always rep Albany. Yeah, Albany is definitely like, I think when we were coming up as a band, even before Young Culture, when Alex and I played in bands together, it was probably more of like a thriving scene with like more bands and more venues, and then slowly bands started like breaking up and venues started closing down and stuff. But it really gave us the platform to, get comfortable and learn how to be in a band, and I don't think we would be able to do this without having such a strong local scene in the beginning. And hopefully, anytime we play Albany, we always try and get the best Albany bands to play the shows, and we always try and make it like a big a family type of vibe. Yeah, we want it to feel, there's a real scene and stuff there, and they're always great shows, and we love playing Albany. I love the hometown. I love living there.
Are there any bands you would want to shout out?
Oh yeah, Malloy. They're sick. They're like a good pop band from the area. Promiser. Yeah, there's quite a few of them going on right now, but definitely our boys in Malloy really got it going on, and I think that they're going to be one of the next big bands out of there. Yeah, totally.
So one of the things I want to bring up, especially since you guys are based out of Albany, one of the bigger bands that came out of Albany in the last couple of years is, of course, Stagehamps. So you guys had the chance to work with Derek DiScanio on multiple occasions, as well as play with the band on multiple shows. So have you guys taken any qualities from the band, whether it's producing music, branding, or playing in a live venue?
Yeah, I think in a lot of our music, you can definitely hear Derek's imprint on there, just because he's been our friend for so long, and we've always kind of looked up to him in the music realm, because he does really, really well. So I think that anybody that listens to State Champs and listens to Young Culture, it's definitely not the same thing, and there's a lot of differences, but you can always hear that that kind of sound in there. Yeah, they've been really good, because all those dudes like Derek and Tyler have seen us grow as a band, and anytime we have questions or concerns or just need a little bit of guidance, they're always really nice and let us know what's up, and if we're doing something right or if we're doing something wrong. And asking us to do those holiday shows last winter was super nice of them, and really gave us the shot that we've been wanting to do, some shows with them and stuff like that. And it was so much fun to be able to play in front of like crowds like that, and actually see like people were like into it and knew us already. It was pretty crazy.
All right, so one of the things that like State Chance has been doing, there's Grayscale, CUA, Neck Deep. They've been kind of pushing the pop punk genre. It's kind of been moving into the more pop area, alternative rock, just shifting in kind of a new direction in the last couple of years. And you guys are pretty much playing that kind of new sound right now as well. Where do you think the genre is going to head next, and how do you guys want to push the boundaries?
Yeah, I really do see like the pop punk genre in the past few years and in the next few years too. I do see it pushing that kind of pop envelope, and it's very like, I don't know. In a way, it just seems like it's more accessible. There's more people now, like today, listening to that kind of music. I grew up listening to like pop punk, and like when I was 11, 12 years old, there was a way bigger market for it, I'd say. But nowadays, people love pop music, and we love pop music too. And it never was us trying to make something that was more accessible, but just because that's what we always wanted to do and what always felt right. Yeah, I think we've always kind of had a poppy sound to begin with, no matter what, just because that was the kind of music we like to write and play and listen to and stuff like that. I think it's just like the perfect time for us to put out an album now that like the scene is kind of like moving towards a poppier sound no matter what. So I think everything's kind of working out in our favor in a way, because we were going to put out this type of record no matter what, whether it was like what was popular or what wasn't. Yeah. But I think it's just going to do really well with the new sound coming on. But I'm a fan of it too. I really like Grayscale's new album.
Yeah,
fan of the new Chance album.
Same thing with the story so far. They're kind of pushing like this indie direction as well.
Yeah, totally.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool when they put out that record, because it was like definitely different from the last three that they did, and I mean we're all huge fans of that band. But yeah, it's different and it's cool, and I like the fact that music is always changing and evolving.
All right, so you guys recently announced a pretty hefty U.S. tour with Home Safe, Kayak Jones, and Keep Flying, which is a killer band from Long Island. They're freaking amazing for anyone who doesn't know them. Crazy ska punk. Anyway, any places are you guys looking forward to playing? Any changes to your live set? And are there any routines you guys take to stay fresh and mentally and or physically on the road? I know it's kind of a loaded question. No. But I mean, dude, totally. Like, as far as like places that we're playing, like, I can't say enough, but like just everywhere, man. Like we just love being able to go to each city and like knowing we have friends in each city and just being able to hang out with people, and like anytime that it's a good show, it's great, you know. And it's like, as far as rituals go, I wouldn't say we have anything like really in particular, you know what I mean? Like we try to get our like routines down when we're on tour and really not like get stuck in like the touring, you know, space, because it's really easy to do that. So we try to like, you know, work out a bit while we're on the road, and you know, try to eat a lot of Chipotle. Yeah, like Alex said, I mean, we're just super stoked. The fact we get to go on such a long tour with such amazing bands is like incredible. We love all the dudes in Home Safe, all the dudes in Kayak. Keep Flying is incredible. We love those dudes. And the fact that it's just such a long tour is so sick that we get to spend so much time with them and go to so many places that we've been before. It's like really cool. And yeah, lots of Chipotle. Trying to eat a little bit healthier on this one. Yeah, I always end up noticing like 3 weeks in I feel like garbage, but I'm gonna try my best to maybe only feel like garbage like 5 weeks in. All right, so I see that you guys are pushing Chipotle way over Moe's. You know, that whole feud. But anyway,
I mean, honestly, like I like Moe's. Sometimes you need a little bit of Moe's to like
just to mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
But are you guys changing anything up in the live set? Are you trying something new or experimental?
As far as this tour goes, I would say it's kind of like the end of like an era, right? Because so far we've only put out like EPs. We put out 3 EPs, and we kind of feel like this is like we gave people on Twitter like the chance to tell us what songs they want to hear. Because honestly, it'll probably be the last time that we play a lot of them, because we have this this full length coming out that we're so excited about. Like, we're just gonna want to push all those songs. So. We're really just kind of playing all the classics, all the ones that people want to hear from us right now before we retire some of them.
Are you going to try to give people a little bit sneak peeks of the new material?
We've been thinking about doing a new song, maybe throwing that in the set. It's just we're going straight from the studio into tour. So I don't know how much time we'll have for rehearsals or anything like that. But
yeah, you guys are actually in the studio now, right? Because we were talking like last week.
Yeah. We're in the studio for like 4 weeks, I think. We've been here for like a week now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our guitar player Troy is in there right now recording some guitars. Hopefully, or he's just making jokes.
All right, so let's move on to your latest EP called This Is Heaven. It came out earlier this year, back in January. So one of the things I noticed after listening to your discography, I definitely felt you guys seemed a bit more confident on this release, pretty much in like all the different elements, vocally, instrumentally. Did you guys feel like there was a different feeling going into this release and the new material now, even whether it's like a boost your confidence from like your recent success?
Yeah, man. Well, we for our first EP, like we wrote that when we were like 14, 15 years old, and then like I finally ended up putting it out. So it's just like, man, it's just growth. I really feel like we've been doing the same thing. We set out to do one thing, and we've been doing it, but now we're just getting older, and like that's what young culture is really about. We kind of just wanted to embody what's going on in our lives. So it's like I think that with each release that we put out, you can absolutely hear the sound like of us getting better and the growth in it for sure.
So on that topic, what do you personally feel like you improved on?
Oh man, I mean, writing, singing, you know what I mean? Like, I know that those are obviously the two obvious things, but I feel like when I listen to them, like from each release, I'm like, wow, I can like really hear how I've improved. Like, and I'm glad, because if it wasn't that way, I would probably feel pretty bad about myself.
Yeah, I think another thing that's like helpful that kind of like sometimes people look over is just preparation for the album, and like preparation for like when we went to record This Is Heaven, like we had already done 2 EPs before and we knew what it was going to be like, so we wanted to make sure the songs were as prepared as possible. So I think that helped the songs a lot. And then even for this album, we took the whole summer basically just to sit down and record the songs ourselves and go over them and make the changes before we got in the studio. So it's just like being more prepared definitely helps you with anything, whether it's like these songs or playing live or going on tour or something. Yeah, absolutely. We were, more prepared. Definitely more prepared. Just like the knowledge of like what mistakes we made in the past and weren't going to make those again, type of thing.
I think it's really beneficial, though, you guys starting out so young, because even though like, you're at around 20, you guys are still considered a very young band. You're signed. You still have a lot of time to grow that fan base. It reminds me of like Our Last Night. They started when they were 16, and like by the time they grew a fan base, now they left the label and can support themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've always liked the fact that we've been the young guys, and the
young guns.
It's always been cool. But yeah, it's just been fun. It's been cool making music when we were little, and now it's even cooler that we're still best friends.
Yeah.
All right, so this time around, you guys worked with Sam Guiana. Hopefully, I did not butcher that name. But what was it like working with him? Because he worked on bands like Pacific and Silverstein. And is there anything you think he added to the release?
Yeah, man, like, what felt really good about working with him, and this time around we're here in Toronto again, but we're working with him and his partner Anton, who's also an incredible producer, engineer. And the thing is, what we really liked about working with him from the get-go is he just really seemed to care, and being a band that's not, huge yet, and that we're still very young, he never really looked at us like, we're children. Like, he always kind of just treated us with disrespect, and we knew that he wanted to really, like, get us somewhere new. So we felt like on This Is Heaven that he really pushed us to be the best that we can be, and this time around it's absolutely the same case.
So, since we're talking about the production process, what specific process do you guys take to write songs? Whether it's taking MIDI first, or whether it's just a jam out session, whether you write lyrics first, because it's interesting to hear. Because every band has like this whole different style of writing a song.
Yeah, man. There's quite a few different ways that we go about it. It definitely started out more so that I would just write the songs like with me and my acoustic guitar, and then bring them to Gabe or Troy, and we would like make them into the song that they are. But honestly, in the past few years, like, it's also started to be more of like something like where Gabe will like make a beat on his computer or something, and I'll be like, this is great, like, let me write some lyrics over it. Or Troy sending like a guitar riff or something like that. It's gotten to become a very collaborative process, which is awesome, and like we're all a part of it,
So you guys mentioned that being prepared was kind of like a new trait you guys obtained over the years. When creating this EP, what other changes have you made in the creation process?
I think like the EP or the album.
Both. In general, what do you feel like how you change your process in creating a song?
Well, I think like before we never really did pre-production, and we first started pre-production with the EP, where we got to sit with the songs and kind of like have a couple days and go through them and kind of get like revise them and see what we want to have changed or anything like that. And I think that is a huge major thing for any band when they record, is like that's something you should totally do, because even when you think your song is like the best it could be, it can always be better. And taking constructive criticism from like someone like Sam or Derek has been like,
it's weird because like those like small little changes can like change the whole song.
Oh yeah, dude. Whether it's like, hey, let's cut out this like section in the verse just to make the song shorter, or let's change this drum fill. It's like the little things you don't notice that makes such a good song. But yeah, I think just being ultimately more prepared is something new for us, and something that we're gonna take not only to albums but to like everything with the band. We're trying to get a head start on like artwork and like images for the whole cycle and stuff like that, and that way we're just not rushed, and we want this whole album to be like something really special and not feel like it's being rushed or anything like that.
One thing I usually ask a lot of artists, especially on their latest releases, is what are maybe some small production details that people should listen out for?
Ooh, that's cool. Lots of tambourine in the EP. Dude, we've noticed that like putting like percussion and like little auxiliary things like keyboards and everything just kind of tucked away in the mix really lifts up songs, and like subconsciously it's like, why does the chorus sound so huge? And it's like, oh, it's because it has all these extra little elements in there too. Yeah. And then also like song structures, it's like don't make your intro super duper long and boring. Kind of like cut stuff down and trim the fat type of thing, even if it sounds cool. But also do what you want to do too. Yeah, like whatever. It's your world, baby.
So one last question I got for you guys for This Is Heaven. What's the biggest message you want people to get off of this release?
As far as writing wise for This Is Heaven, I've said this before, but it was really written at like pretty mentally like terrible time in my life. Like I wrote it, and it was actually more of like the type of thing where it's like I kind of wrote all these songs like that were like, you know, mainly breakup songs, and then a couple other like songs and other things, but it was this type of thing where like I wrote these songs in like, you know, in the format of like these like breakup songs, but then like upon like listening to them after we did it, like I just kind of realized that like in a lot of the songs I was talking about myself and things that I wasn't happy with in myself and like in life. But the reason why This Is Heaven is because, you know, like music is our vessel, you know what I mean? Like I can say that confidently for all of us, and when I heard those songs like after we made them and just being, like reflecting on them, I was like, wow, like I think making this EP is what we really needed to like grow and just to, you know, tell myself like, dude, like you need to like get better, and that's why this is heaven. You know?
One of the quotes that I got offline is from you. It really goes to show that every bad situation is a song waiting to happen, and for us to be able to do so is heaven.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. It's, dude, like, it's just the truth, man. Like, that's our output. We don't have much else. Like, all we got is doing this music thing and being able to write these songs and just put them out, and for people to actually listen to them and like them, like that's crazy. That's wild to us, you know? But we're so thankful. We're so thankful because it means everything to us.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on and talking about your latest release, new music, and the upcoming tour you're doing with Home Safe, Keep Flying, and Kayak Jones. How about you tell people where they can find your music and where they can keep up to date with you guys?
We got a website. It's just youngcultureny.com, and you can see all our tour dates, buy tickets, see the music videos, all our social media is on there too. And dude, thank you so much for having us on the show. This was really cool.
No problem. Hopefully we can set up something in the future. If you guys ever come to Long Island, maybe we can do an acoustic set. Lots of possibilities.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. That's just really exciting. Let's totally do that.
All right. Everyone, make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the show. Thank you guys again. That was Young Culture.